Good morning everyone. Welcome to ixamBee. So this week we have been holding an RBI week where we are discussing one by one how you should prepare, what it takes to be, to become an RBI grade officer, what is the exam pattern, how you should approach and prepare for the various segments for this particular exam, right? So continuing with this series, we've already discussed the overall strategy, the exam pattern. Then we moved on to discuss the quant strategy, the English, reasoning and descriptive English strategy. And today we are going to discuss about the finance and management related aspects for your preparation for grade B. Okay, so it's a good time to start if you have not started till now, and if you have started, it's a good time to get into a fast mode because we are expecting the notification to come out very soon. Okay, so it has not the notification has not been out for RBI grade B yet, but it is expected very soon. So as I said, it's a good time to start. Okay, so yes, okay, what we are going to discuss today is one, the RBI phase 2 exam pattern, what the cutoffs have been for phase 2 and phase 3. Is it possible to get 90 marks in finance and management section? What is the syllabus? How to approach the syllabus, and then how one should prepare. Okay, so moving on to the first aspect, what is the exam pattern? Many of you would already be aware, some may not be. So just giving a gist, this is for phase 2 only. I'm not talking about phase 1. We have done earlier sessions. You can go to the recording again if you have missed it. Right, so for phase 2, if you clear phase 1, then you will be able to sit for phase 2, and there will be 3 papers. First paper is for economic and social issues. It's an objective paper, 90 minutes, 100 marks. Okay, so how these 100 marks are divided in the questions is that you get 30 questions of 1 mark and 35 questions of 2 mark. Okay, making a total of 100 marks. That is how been the pattern from some years, and it's likely to be the same. Similar pattern is for finance and management, which we are going to discuss today in detail. Same thing, it is also objective in nature, 30 questions of 1 mark and 35 questions of 2 marks. Descriptive English is a descriptive paper where you type. There are 3 questions, one related to essay, RC and Prachi. This has been already discussed in yesterday's video. Okay, so this is the exam pattern. So finance and management is one of the 3 papers that you have to clear in phase 2, right? If I look at the cutoffs, there are no sectional cutoffs like in phase 1. There are sectional cutoffs. In phase 2, you have to clear these papers, as you know, it adds, all the papers results are added to arrive at your final score. Okay, so phase 2 papers, what the cutoffs? So you don't have section wise, you don't have subject wise cutoffs, you don't have section wise marks being told upfront. Okay, so in this, the cutoffs over the years have been in the range of 200 is what I would like to assume. Okay, approximately is 200 in the written paper, that has been the cutoff, around that 200 or lesser. Okay, so 195, 200 is more recurring type of number that has happened over the last 5 years. Okay, objective, but these marks are not revealed after the phase 2. Based on your results in phase 2, you are called for interview. The marks, the cutoffs are released after the interview stage, which includes phase 3 basically denotes the interview stage, which is of 50 marks interview. So the written paper is 300 marks, as we saw here, 100, 100, 100, and then the interviews of 50 marks. So including the interviews, the marks were, the cutoffs have been in the range of 240, approximately around 240, barring 2016 where the cutoff was much lesser. It has been in the range of 240. Okay, so The other aspect to know about this is that the individual, as I take the individual sectional marks are not taken into account. So for 193 it is possible that you get 100 in FM and another 93 from the remaining two papers. Okay, or it is possible that in the interview you get 1 or 2 marks. This has actually happened this year. Marks as low as 1 have already also been given in the interview. But if you have been able to get a 238 or 237, okay, in your written objective paper, then also you clear then also you become the RBI grade B officer, right? So that therefore it is very important to get as much and maximum marks as much as you can get in phase 2, okay, because it ultimately helps you to get your final score, just in case, because interview is more impromptu on the day. How you perform, we prepare for that also. We, of course, one should prepare for that, but it's still a little one day performance, how you actually do on that day. So written is something which can be more in your hand, and therefore should always try to get the maximum. If I talk only about the FM section, the marks have ranged for the selected candidates. We don't know for everybody, but for the selected candidates, the FM marks have ranged from 65 to 90. Yes, as high as 90 people have got in the 2019 RBI Grade B paper. So it's very possible there are people who are doing it. Now somebody may ask me, maybe these are finance people. Okay, there's another recurring question and a recurring theme that keeps coming up, that I am from a non-finance background, I'm an engineer, will I be able to score? Is this my cup of tea? Yes, very much. The person who got 90 and above, there are many candidates who got more than 80, 85. They are non-finance students. Okay, of course finance students will also get. So first step from my end, first request and first thing that you should make up in your head from my end, I would suggest, is forget what your background is and can you get marks in FM just because you have a finance background or you don't have a finance background. First get that out of your head. If you are ready to work hard, if you are ready to work as per, have a strategy, work hard towards the syllabus, keeping in mind the past patterns and what is expected, if you are ready to do that, doesn't matter what your background is. If it mattered, then RBI itself wouldn't have allowed students to sit for this exam. They have allowed thinking something, right? So first you need to get this out of your head, whether you can prepare, whether you can score or not. You can if you want to. Okay, so as I was saying, 90 marks, is it possible in FM? Yes, people have achieved. What stops you from not achieving it? Okay, so in FM, in finance and management, please understand, it is not pure finance. The subject is called finance and management. It is not financial management. Okay, so there is a good portion of management that comes in the last 3 years. If we see, these are based on the number of questions, basis number of questions, the division between finance questions and management is almost 50-50, right? In terms of marks, okay, very easily around 40 marks questions come from the management section. Okay, and so 35 to 40 marks you can very easily score in management. What is management? This is the syllabus of management that has been given as per the RBI notification. Okay, very big para, you will see, very confusing. So many things have been written. Let me break it down for you. If I break it down for you, there are actually 6 aspects that they are covering. First is your management, where you are learning about what is the meaning of management, what is its nature, what is the scope, what is the process, what is planning, staffing, directing, controlling. Okay, whenever you start studying something, first you need to understand what all is the scope, what all is covered there. So that's exactly what is happening in the management. Second big topic is your leadership. Okay, what is the task of a leader, what are different leadership styles, leadership theories, a successful leader versus an effective leader. Okay, then there's this third topic, which is your human resource development, in which you are studying what is the concept of HRD, what is the goals, performance appraisal, potential appraisal, trading feedback, reward systems. Okay, how the human resource development is structured basically in an organization, right? Fourth big topic is your motivation. Okay, what exactly motivation means? There are theories, what is difference between morale, incentives, how a manager can motivate, what is the concept of morale. Okay, fifth big topic is your communication, how communication flows in an organization, whether it is written, oral, verbal, non-verbal, upward, downward, what are the barriers to communication, right? And then what is the role of IT in communication? And the sixth topic is your corporate governance, what it means, what are the factors, what are the mechanisms of corporate governance. So if you break it down, it is just 6 topics that you have to cover, right? No big deal. And if I have to approach the management syllabus, you should look at it. It's a combination of 2 aspects in management. One is logic. Okay, it's management. When we study, we say it is both a science and an art. Okay, why science and an art? Science, all those people who come from non-finance background, for you, I think you know what science means. Something which has theories, which you can have a cause and effect, where you can think of a conclusion, right? And art, because there's so much subjectivity involved. When you talk of, when you're concerned with people, everything cannot be in watertight compartments or definitions. So there's a lot of subjectivity involved in how you deal with people, how you get the best out of people, and therefore it's art and science, right? So this study has been given a structure so as to be, to make it a discipline, so that you can tell somebody in a more structured manner, right? But ultimately it all comes out of logic. You are doing management on everyday basis. You're managing yourself, you are managing your friends, you are managing your relatives, your family at some level or the other. So it's a lot of things come out of logic. So if you stop looking it as something that you have to learn from books and start thinking logically, common sense, what a person should do in a particular situation, many answers will actually come to you automatically. And of course, there are a lot of factual things that you will have to remember. For example, if there are theories, who gave that theory, right? So that is something that you will have to remember. Again, nothing difficult. Or we have done schooling, we have done college, and we remember so many things what we did in school. Why? Because we have a certain level of memory. So nothing difficult that you have to do here. You have to remember certain things. You read it and you will remember it. The strategy here is revising it. Keep doing it again and again so that it sticks in your head. Okay, to give a few examples how it is logic and facts, these are actual questions, of course memory based, that came in 2019 from the management section. One, which of the following is an advantage of written communication? Okay, so if you read the options, we are talking about advantages. Written communication, if you think, even if you don't know the definition, written is what? Something which is when you are communicating something in written form, writing on paper or maybe through an email. Okay, so which is there. So leads to a quick response is less. Can it be an advantage of written communication that it leads to a quick response? Maybe not. Why? Because if you're writing a letter, you will post it, then the person will receive it, and then he will write a reply to you. Okay, even if you're writing an email, maybe the person doesn't check it immediately. You cannot ensure that the other person receiving your email is checking it immediately. Or if you choose to do a WhatsApp message, you are not 100% sure that the other person is reading your message immediately. So it may not lead to quick response. So this cannot be a advantage. Is less expensive? Again, maybe always not. If you are sending a letter, then you will have to post it, so it involves certain kind of expense. So we cannot really say it is less expensive. When we say less expensive, we are actually comparing it to the other form of communication, just oral communication that I'm just speaking out to you. Okay, can be used later as a proof. Okay, so can I use my written communication, whatever I have said, as a proof later? Think. Yes, if I have an email from a person saying something, it is there in my storage, email storage, and therefore if I want to refer to it, I can go back to it. If there is a letter that I have received by post, I have a copy of it, right? So yes, it can be used later as a proof. Is more flexible approach to communicate message. Again, this may not be an advantage. Why? Because usually written communication will follow a set pattern. If you are writing a letter, there is a set pattern that you will have a salutation, then you will have a subject, and then you will write here whatever content you have to write. Okay, so communication may, written form will not always be flexible, and all of the above is ruled out the moment you see that first is not a advantage. So just logically, even if you have not thought about what written communication means, you will know that this should be the right answer, right? So yes, this is the answer. Another example, again from 2019 grade B paper. Which of the following will increase employees' morale in a company? When we talk about morale, it's basically what do you think when you hear the word morale? Right? The feel good factor, the vibe, the aura that you have around certain things, right? So that is what is morale. So what is likely to increase a person's morale? If you go and work in an organization, say, what do you think will help you uplift you towards that organization, that feeling of upliftment, that feeling of happiness being associated there, the feeling of feeling motivated to work in that organization to contribute to its goal? What will lead to it? Okay, think that ways. Effective communication in the organization. If the communication in the organization is transparent, in a very well structured manner, you understand everything, the instructions, the feedback, so will you like working in that organization? Will you feel a positive vibe about it? Yes, no, think in your head. Second, higher incentives for seniors. If your seniors are always getting the incentive for more and more work, would you as a person have a good feeling about that organization? Third, changing goals of the organization. If the organization today tells you this is my goal, work for this. Next day say, okay, I think I chose the wrong goal. Now I'll work for something else. So change your work action plan. Now start moving towards something X. Yesterday we were working for X, sorry, and today let's start working for Y. Will you have a very good feeling about the organization? Fourth, bonus for top performers. If the company is only giving bonus to the top performers all the time, what kind of a feeling you will have working in the organization? And all of the above. For whichever you said yes, I would want to work in such an organization, that should be the answer. For me, I think logically it's only the first one where I would like to work, where I understand everything in the company, I know their goals, I know what they want to achieve, I like the way they transparently communicate with me, I like the way they give the feedback to me so that I can improve and I can work better for the organization. So that will increase my morale towards the company. Again, logic. Okay, this is now fact based, the other aspect in management I was talking. But once you read one time, two time, three time, this is going to stick in your head. It's not that you will forget it. Who is the person who suggested management of objectives? You have read it, you will know it is Peter F. Drucker, and you can very easily get 1 or 2 marks, whichever marks question this comes as. Okay, so Peter F. Drucker had given this in 1954 in his book The Practice of Management. Another fact-based question, or that you need to remember: which of the following motivation theory is given by Alderfer? which is considered as a condensed form of Maslow's theory. The moment you hear the word Alderfer, you should be able to click which motivation theory he gave. So such questions also come: who gave this theory, or this theory was given by which person? Either ways, right? So it was the ERG theory. It stands for existence, relatedness, and growth theory, and it's a condensed form of the Maslow's theory. Okay. So this is again a fact base. So yes, management is easy. Some of you are writing in the chat also. It is easy and you can very easily score. So your 35 to 40 marks are going nowhere, right? All you have to do is read it once, twice, thrice, whichever, so many times you have the time till the exam. Read it again and again, read it again and again. Try to apply logic. Don't try to mug up things. Understand them, and while reading they are very simple. Okay, you will read it and you will realize that it's simple, and that is how you get your 35 to 40 marks in your FM paper. Okay, more you want to attempt, on our website, ixamBee.com, you can go. There's a section here, previous year papers. In that, for various exams, not just RBI, for various other exams also, previous year papers are given. For RBI phase 1 is also there. For RBI phase 2, you can see for 2018 and 2019, memory based questions are there in the form of a quiz. You can attempt them if you want. If you don't want to attempt, you can submit and read the answers. This will help you to understand what type of questions are coming in the paper. Okay, so where now the question comes, it is easy, we can study it. Where should we study the management from? Okay, any basic book from management will do. Okay, all these topics are class 12 level topics. Okay, you can study from any book you feel comfortable reading. Many suggest foreign authors, many suggest Indian authors. It totally depends on your choice, which one you are comfortable reading. If you find the language of a foreign author difficult to understand, you can go for an Indian author. If you if you want a higher level of language, you can go for a foreign author. Really depends on you. Any book will be sufficient. NCRT level book is okay. Ellen Prasad is another famous book that is recommended. SP Robbins is another important book that is suggested. Kuhn's, these are foreign authors. Indian author that you can go. And of course, if you want to, ixamBee's course material is there, which provides all the details, right? So your choice, what you want to do. So when I started, I said 90 marks possible. Yes, management section I talked about. The other section now is the finance, where I need to get another 50 to 55 marks. Okay, Rajat, for ESI, like I am talking about FM today, the ESI we will be talking about tomorrow. So stay tuned, join in at 11 tomorrow again. Right, now for finance, this is the syllabus for finance given as per RBI notification. Always remember, all syllabus are indicative, but yes, they give you a very good picture as to what direction you should work on. Now they have divided the syllabus in 3 parts, A, B and C. A, if you can see, is the financial system, the understanding, and even if you are not preparing for RBI but any other exam, this is something you read about on a regular basis. Regulators of banks. Who is regulators of banks? RBI. And there are various other financial institutions. There are various other regulators also. Okay, which are the other important regulators in India? SEBI is there, IRDA is there, PFRDA is there. Okay, and one of the very newest, right, are there. Then there are various financials, very important financial institutions, development financial institutions in the country, like SIDBI, Exim Bank. Okay, so when you have to know about them, this is important, how our financial system is structured, which are the bodies that are helping in different areas in the country. So knowing them, basically knowing them, what it means is, you know when they started, who is heading them, what is their major objective, okay, is there any particular instrument or term associated with them, then you should know about that. That is your financial system. A lot of it is factual. You read it, you retain it. Okay, nothing difficult. Why will a non-finance person not be able to do this? There is no reason why a non-finance person can't do this. Okay, second aspect, RBI. We are trying to know, okay, so financial institutions are covered here also. So NABARD is also there, NHB is also there, right? Then is RBI. We are sitting for RBI. So we are trying to know everything a little more, one step up in detail about RBI. What are the various functions of RBI? How does RBI conducts its monetary policy? Okay, so when I say monetary policy, what I have to understand, what are the different terms? Repo market, reverse repo, right? What is CRR? What is SLR? Okay, so how is basically RBI managing the money supply? How is it making sure that inflation and growth, they work in tandem with the other fiscal policy, the government, and try to supplement the fiscal policy so as to maintain growth and to have a stable pricing policy and inflation policy in the country, right? So again, you have to read. Yes, there are a lot of concepts involved, but nothing that a finance or a non-finance person will find it difficult to. You have to just read it with an open mind, try to see how the money is flowing and how things are being managed. Okay, simple, approach it that way and move ahead. Right? And then there is the banking system. Now, because RBI is a regulator for banks, we are also trying to see how the banking system is structured now. Okay, so if there are banks, you as a retail person, as an individual, may have an account, say in SBI, or maybe you have an account in ICICI Bank, or maybe newest you found that okay, give me a name for a small finance bank. Say you see a new branch come up of AU Small Finance Bank, and they are giving you a higher interest rate, and then you want to go and open an account there, right? So what is SBI? What is ICICI? What is AU Small Finance Bank? Why do they have the word Small Finance Bank in their name? How is SBI and ICICI different? Okay, just think that ways and approach it. That is what we are trying to understand, the banking system. Various types of banks in the country. Why are there so many different kinds of banks? How are they different from each other? And what are the guidelines for them to operate in India? Okay, it's not like, today I want to open a bank. If today I want to start, a small business, okay, I can go ahead and do that. But if I want to start a bank, I can't do that, right? So there are restrictions, there are rules, there are regulations. You need to get a license from RBI to start a bank, to run a bank, right? So why is that happening? That is all about the banking system, right? So simple. You read it, you discuss it, you understand it, and you retain it. These are the steps that you have to follow. Similarly, financial markets, yes, there are concepts, but approach it logically, and that is how you go ahead for the financial markets also. So you read it and you will understand it. Okay, so there is no rocket science, there is no finance, non-finance distinction that should come in A and B topics at all. In C topics, see now, union budget is common, inflation is common with economics, corporate governance is generic, okay, more management side, right? Financial recent developments is news based. If you are reading a newspaper, you will know what is happening in the financial sector. Any financial daily, and even RBI recommends any financial daily. You can pick up ET, Economic Times. You can pick up Business Standard. You can pick up Financial Express. You can even pick up Mint. Okay, you can pick up Hindu. Okay, but from news point, I think these any three you can choose. These if you want to read more opinion based and editorial style, then these newspapers you can go for. So if you are reading regularly, you will know what is happening in the financial sector, right? Risk management, it also includes the Basel norms. So this is something, okay, a little technical that you will have to read and understand. This is a little more technical that you will have to understand. These are, yes, some things that you will have to understand, some terms in terms of, what is factoring, what is forfeiting. So there are certain terms in alternate sources of finance that you will have to understand and learn about. Apart from, so these are the generic topics. So there is, apart from these two topics which you may have to pay a little more attention, there is nothing that is difficult to understand or difficult to retain if you do it regularly, if you approach it. Apart from this, what is not mentioned in the syllabus are topics, very favorite, I think, numericals. Everybody loves asking about them and spends a lot of time on it. Then there is time value of money. Then there is bond valuation. Okay, so all these topics are not directly mentioned in the syllabus. However, it is important to understand these. Why? Because they give you a glimpse into understanding financial terms. We want to know about the bond markets. Okay, say we are saying RBI is managing the G-Secs, issue of G-Secs and all. Okay, and RBI today starts increasing liquidity. Okay, or say for the matter we read that RBI is doing a US INR swap. Okay, and which has affected the bond yields. The moment you hear bond yields, people start panicking. Okay, very difficult term, I don't know what to do. So to be able to understand the terms, we study bond valuation so that we know what yield means. Yield in simple terms is just the return that you are getting on the bond based on today's prices and the interest rate that it gives. Okay, so that's why these topics are important. Time value of money, the concept is important to know, because unless you know the concept, you will not be able to appreciate the fact that the prices of assets change as time moves ahead. There's an opportunity cost associated with it. Okay, so don't, all these terms, if you have not heard, again, don't start panicking. These can be understood with a little effort, but of course you will have to make effort. I'm not saying that everything is a cakewalk, but it is not even not achievable kind of a thing for finance or non-finance, any background. So that I have said in the beginning only, the background doesn't matter. So that thought you should just leave aside, right? So these are the terms, and yes, numericals, as I was saying, this is again one thing that everybody is very scared of what to do. We don't know what will going forward happen, but from the past 2 years, numericals are not coming in the exam, right? And so many students waste so much energy, and they're feared, they're scared of a finance paper only because of the word numericals. I am not able to solve numericals. What will happen? I cannot clear this paper. Right, so please, I think you would have heard CP sir on our channel again and again talk about a concept of ROTI, okay, which is return on your time invested. Okay, please remember the marks that we are aiming are, highest we said is 90. We are not aiming for 100 marks here. Okay, if a numerical, say for example a numerical does come, okay, which is a little difficult. If it is simple, go ahead, solve it. Say it is a little tricky. How many such numericals can be there? 1, 2, how many marks maximum? 5. If you can do the remaining 90 marks paper, 95 marks paper, and leave this, you can still get 90. Right? So just because you're scared of one aspect, you cannot rule out the entire paper. Okay. Again, having said that, I'm not saying don't do numericals, just leave it. But that should not be the factor that discourages you or scares you from preparing for this exam in a systematic manner. right? This is the recommended books given in the notification. I think this is another source of panic or worry that students get the moment they see such huge list of books and such bulky books. You don't need to read this book at all. These any, sorry, economic paper, as I said, any economic paper you can read. It's not necessary to read Economic Political Weekly. Any economic paper, if you are following regularly, is more than enough. You don't need to read public finance in detail. Okay, the book is, you can choose any one of these, Mishra and Puri. And for finance section, in that also there is only a section, okay, on money and banking, that you need to read. Overall overview, you don't need to mug up every word and page from that book. Financial management, another source of worry. It's a very good book to understand basics of finance, ratios, time value of money and everything. The problem comes the moment people start going into higher level of numericals in this book and then start panicking. As I said, you have to see what is the weightage of every aspect. For understanding the concept, it's a good book. Don't try to read it cover to cover. Read which will help you in understanding the basic, how the financials calculations move. Okay, of course, uh, this is the suggested list, and if you want everything at one place, ixamBee courses there, right? I will also analyze for you the finance topics that have come in the past. In 2018, zero numericals. Okay, 0% numericals. And the topics that got the maximum weightage was the updates on banking sector. So if you had been reading newspaper, preparing well for GA, you would have done this also. Okay, banking system in India, as I was talking about how bankings are, what regulations RBI has given. You have to read it and remember them. Risk management, one thing that you have to pay attention to, especially the Basel norms. Derivatives, another topic that you have to understand. Once you understand, it's again, problem comes when without have not focusing on derivative concepts and definitions, people start and getting into how to trade and price derivatives. That is not your domain, and that is not where you have to go. Okay, all of many the students start wondering how will if I have to buy an option, how is the price of that option premium arrived at? You don't have to do that. You don't have to become an investment manager. You're not going to price a derivative there. Okay, uh, stay focused. What do derivatives mean? Why we have different types of derivatives? What is the difference between a forward and a future and an option? Okay, what are the different costs associated with it? What are the profit and loss? What is the return on different kinds of derivatives? Why do we use it? When do we use it? You understand that, you understand the derivatives costs. You don't have to go into pricing of them, trading of them, the various margins that are implemented of them. What will be my margin requirement? When will my broker call for it? You don't have to get into the trading of derivatives. When you start moving in the wrong direction, that is when you lose focus and motivation both. Okay, capital markets, simple. You understand the structure, you will be able to attempt. Fiscal policy, GST, Union Bank, budget, ES related, these are common with your ESI. If you are preparing, you are preparing for both sections. Nothing finance, non-finance background here. Okay, and then there are various other topics. Year by year they change. Money market, policy, industrial policy, measurement of growth, common with again ESI paper, RBI and its monetary policy. Similarly, 2018 similar type, updates on banking sector got the highest weightage. So if you are reading, if you are aware of what is happening around you, if you are preparing well for GA, you are preparing well for this exam. Okay, RBI and monetary policy, banking system again recurring, budget and fiscal policy again recurring, basics of finance, some conceptual things related to balance sheet, P&L came here, risk management again recurring. Okay, so and there was only one numerical in 2018, and that was also very straightforward. Okay, you just had to know the formula of PE and you had to put in the values and calculate it. It took less time than you would have taken for a question in quant. Okay. And so when I was talking about this, I told you a lot of things come from what is happening around you, what are the recent developments in the banking and financial sector. How is that covered? You prepare for GA, you are preparing simultaneously for finance, you are simultaneously preparing for ESI. For that, how ixamBee helps, again, this is available on our website for free. You go on ixamBee, there is a section of general awareness. This general awareness, where we provide the Bpedia, it is the name of our general awareness digest for all competitive exams. You can find it on a weekly basis. So every 4 publications you will find on a weekly basis, and one for monthly for that particular month. So you'll try and find for November, and by the end of December you'll get for December. Right? How it is structured? It is divided into various sub-segments: related news, finance and banking related, economy, national, international, states. So all the topics, subtopics from which the questions keep coming in different formats. Don't worry where the question will come, whether it will come in GA, whether it will come ESI, whether it will come in FM. How does it matter to you? Okay, you ultimately have to answer and move ahead and get selected. So don't try to divide it into that, should I study only finance and banking because I'm studying for finance and management? No, you need to know everything that is happening. And how we are covering that can be helpful. Say for example, this was in news that RBI sets NPA caps for NBFC to distribute dividends. So RBI has recently come out with guidelines that when can NBFCs be restricted to distribute dividends to its shareholders, right? Now there are certain terms talked about here like CRAR. So we go ahead and discuss and describe those at that very moment for you, so that if you don't know, you get some idea and you can move ahead. And when in FM, say there are 2 questions that come from this news. One which asks you, what is the RBI, the capital limit that RBI has set to restrict distribution on dividends. Maybe this question RBI asks you in GA section. Okay, so that you will know the answer of. And maybe in the FM section, they are asking you the definition of CRAR or the full form of CRAR. Right? That becomes a conceptual question and a finance question. Okay, and then you will start worrying, how do I know? I had not prepared for this. So if you are reading news, we are providing you at one place, so that in case you have missed reading this concept in your finance preparation, you still will know the answer. What if they ask you question like, who is the present governor of RBI? You will still know the answer. So on a recurring basis, you will keep revising factual, conceptual information if you prepare for GA in our Bpedia. So that is another way of reinforcing the information, the concepts that you know or would know. Okay. Now after all this discussion, I know I will still get not one but 3 types. There can be more, but 3 types of reaction is what I can assume as of now. So Santosh, for RBI Grade B, as I said, recent developments that are happening in the financial sector. So if any SEBI or IRDA related news is there, knowing brief of that news as it is mentioned in the newspaper is more than enough. You don't have to go and read the entire original guidelines given by SEBI and IRDA. Okay, so I think the first reaction I can assume is from some people who I call the give-uppers. Okay, the moment they see all this discussion, they will be like, okay, there's so much syllabus, too much of it, I can't do it, let me think of something simpler to do. Other type of people are the hoarders. The moment they see this, they will start collecting information from various sources. They will buy all the books, they will reach out to people on Telegram, WhatsApp, email, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, I don't know, whatever social media they can find, and start collecting information. Give me this note, give me that book, give me PDF of this book, give me PDF of that note. and they will just collect and feel happy that now I have everything and now I will clear the paper. Okay, and then there are the third people who I call the doers, who will plan, strategize, execute it, and then actually achieve and crack the exam. Right? Okay. So what you should be doing is I come up with a PDCA cycle. It's not something that I have invented. It's been there in existence. I've just implemented this to the preparation strategy. So anybody knows about what a PDCA cycle is? Okay. So maybe this is one question, if it comes in the exam, I'm preparing you for that. It's also known as the Deming cycle. Why? Because the person who gave it, his name is Edwards Deming. So management question. So one question I'm preparing you. It's also the TQM strategy, also known as the TQM, total quality management. So it was given by Edward Deming for total quality management. Aiming at improving, there should be a continuous improvement in the production. So he applied it to the production and assembly lines and production units, to that they should always aim to improve the standards, improve the quality of the products on a continuous manner. Okay, so that's why he called a cycle, that it's a cycle. It doesn't stop. You have to go on and on till you achieve what you want to achieve. So the first stage, if I apply this to the exam preparation strategy, for me, planning, the first stage of planning would mean that I first decide what my sources of information for preparing for this exam should be, and I should have a systematic study plan. In fact, I would say I will first do a SWOT analysis of myself. Okay, what is my background? What are my strengths? The areas that I'm good at. What are the areas I am weak at? Okay, what are the opportunities in terms of, what all information I have available, how I can prepare, who all can I use as my mentor or a guiding person. Okay, and then I prepare a systematic study plan schedule for myself, given my circumstances in terms of time available with me, okay, and other commitments that I have. Okay, next level will be to actually do it, execute that plan, right? So you start following that schedule that you have decided. You start studying from that book. You do not hoard data. You do not get affected by people who are scaring you. This is not doable. This is very difficult. Everybody should follow this particular strategy. This is the only source that can help you. No, everybody has their unique way of studying, and that you need to know. Nobody can tell you that. You have to be honest to yourself, do an honest analysis of yourself, and then make a schedule for yourself. Of course, you can choose a person to guide and to mentor and help you make that if you choose to do that, but then stick to it. Okay. Check, according to me, at this level will be checking the level of your preparation. So give mock tests, practice at regular intervals so that you know where you are going. Are you going in the right direction or not? It's very important to keep checking that. And act. Once you give the test, analyze, again see what your weak points are, what your strengths are, which areas you need to add more, study more, which are the areas you can leave for revision, and again, according to those outcomes, plan again, execute again, check again, till you give the exam and actually become an RBI Grade B officer. So how we can help you, just to summarize, we have one of the largest faculties, focusing on every different aspect. We don't, it's not one size fits all at ixamBee at all. We have different faculty who are experts in their domain, in their area, and they guide you accordingly. Okay, CP Joshi sir, Arunima ma'am, you would have heard in the last few days, Karan sir, in fact one of his students actually got 30 out of 30 in RBI Grade B exam itself. Dr. Sanjeev Sharma, he is ex-CGM RBI, and he is He mentors for English language, for descriptive English, and for interview here. Then Garima Srivastav, Garima Garg, both reasoning experts and GA experts and new pattern exam questions expert. Prajakta Shingte, GA expert. Priyanka Agarwal, economics expert, and myself, Prachi Agarwal. I look into finance and management. We provide a comprehensive course both in English and in Hindi, okay, for RBI Grade B preparation. So if I look at the last year's coverage, 2019, we had 90% coverage from our course. Many people say our course is too short, too crisp. That's the aim, to make it target approach, right? We give you everything in a condensed manner, in the right manner, in the targeted and pinpointed manner. The FM coverage was actually 92%, ESI coverage was 88%, overall 90% coverage we had. So also there's an offer for Christmas going on, which you can check out on our website. And thank you all for listening. If you've still not subscribed, then please do, and press the bell icon for any more updates. Tomorrow we'll have another session for ESI also. Right? So that's all from my side. Have a good day, everyone.